Documentary filmmaker Martin D. Berge returns to the rock and roll world after 41 years, just to see what Spinal Tap has been up to. The band has hit a bit of a rough patch, as they've all gone in different directions. However, Nigel, David, and Derek are forced to reunite for one last show, but things don't go as planned, as they are faced with modern setbacks and their old age. This is Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues is the sequel to This Is Spinal Tap, directed by Rob Reiner. And it once again follows the escapades of Spinal Tap, 41 years after the original Rockumentary. Up until I was planning to go see this film, I had never seen This Is Spinal Tap. It's one of those movies that if you watch it as a kid, you probably think it was real. I at least know I did. I was a stupid kid. But after actually watching This Is Spinal Tap, it's quite a unique rockumentary mockumentary. It's a funny movie with some great subtle bits and gags. I was definitely a fan. Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, might actually be funnier though. This film is excellent. This is exactly the kind of film we needed in this era of musician biopics we're in. It is a real gut buster at times. Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer are at the top of their comedy game in this film. Part of that comes with them being older and the jokes that follow, but the characters are still a lot more than just old people jokes. They all have their own quirks, some of which had me laughing almost uncontrollably. There's one in particular that Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia would be a big fan of. And of course, I have to talk about Rob Reiner, who also directs the film. He's great too, but imagine my face when I found out Rob Reiner, the guy that hated cigarettes on South Park, directed both this movie and the original film. I just thought Rob Reiner really hated cigarettes. That's literally all I characterized him in my head as prior to this. But he truly does a great job with this film. Now, this film does seem a little bit more goofy than the original, with a lot more in-your-face bits, gags, and cameos. There are some moments that had me gasping for air. It was so unexpected and funny. That said, there are still plenty of hilarious moments of situational comedy and great, even subtle lines that work really well with the mockumentary style of film. Plus, I think the better audio helps this aspect a whole lot. I tell you, if it wasn't for the fact subtitles exist, I think a lot of lines in the original film might go unnoticed. Maybe my audio was just off, but I couldn't understand what they were saying half the time. This film, however, I understood almost every word. The film even has an asshole character who I believe was pulled straight out of a cartoon. He almost seems out of place, but with the tone of the film, it works. The character was funny and I enjoyed seeing him butt heads with Spinal Tap, but there comes a point where I think the film realized they ran out of funny things for him to do, so they just kind of wrote him out. It was a little bit noticeable to me. But here's the thing. Now, this film leans into the real-world trend of rock and roll legends who are getting up there in age, wanting an encore. We were extremely lucky to see that with Ozzy Osbourne this year, and rest in peace. This is actually a great angle to take a sequel 41 years in the making, making this a really fun encore film. Perhaps the film feels a little less poignant than the original. The first film is about the band struggling with the looming threat of irrelevancy, where this film is them cashing in on nostalgia, both in and out of the movie. It's a great idea for a comedy movie, but it's not one that's gonna have the same emotional punch. The film even has the same third act conflict of the first, but it's resolved so quickly, I can't help but imagine it was part of the joke. Sometimes I have to assume these writers and directors just know more than me. And I know they do. Speaking of the third act, eat your frickin' heart out, Bohemian Rhapsody. That's all I'll say. But I was extremely entertained with this. The cast is great, the music is great, the story is solid. just an all-around great comedy. And we've been getting a lot of great comedies released to theaters lately, and I'm a big fan of that. This film, The Naked Gun, Freakier Friday, was surprisingly funny too. Truly did not expect that. Give me more comedies in theaters, please. Thank you. But I more than recommend Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. They definitely had it turned up to 11. I hope you all enjoyed this review, and if you did, please consider hitting that like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified when my next review drops. Until next time, I'm Quint Dunaway, hoping you will keep it cinematic.